Hello there and welcome. This is Farm Live, and come on, I'm so excited to be doing this video with you right there. I'm here to share with you a major milestone in my farming journey. You see, today I just discovered that my birds are 80 weeks old. Come on, 80 weeks old. 80 weeks is not just 80 days. So all of these birds you see right here in my background, they have spent 80 weeks with me, from day 1 to day 2 to week 1 to week 2, week 20, week 40, and today marks them 80 weeks. And that isn't just all. It's so interesting that my birds at 80 weeks, come on, look at this lady here. My birds at 80 weeks are still giving me 80.5% of lay. Isn't that amazing? So come on, I'm here on this video to share with you my experience summarily in a very brief video, and to share with you my challenges and key lessons that I've learned so far in this journey. It has of course been quite a very interesting journey of unlearning, of learning, of relearning, practicing a lot of things. And as you know, this is my first batch of birds, and over there we have the second batch of birds. So if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified just each time we drop a video. Stay right there as I share with you what this journey has been all about. All right, welcome back. So summarily, some 80 weeks ago we had these birds on our farm. You see, day 1 we had these birds installed. I remember very well. It was the 1st of October 2023, and there have been so many lessons that I've learned. There have been so many things that have brought me this far, despite the fact that it is my first batch of birds I'm interacting with as a farmer. There are many people who did not reach this level. I've seen people who literally lose out on all of their flocks or gave up even before the birds started laying. Some of the birds started laying and got to a point and disease and so many things, and they eventually gave up. So I'm so excited that I've been with this bird all the way from day 1 up to this point, and summarily, knowledge, hard work, dedication, willingness to learn has still kept us in the game. Not to make this video long, when I brought my birds, my first painful experience as a farmer is that my birds were infected with gumboro at just 4 weeks, and I was confused. I've never done this before, and gumboro, I've been hearing about gumboro, infectious bursar disease, all of those diseases. It was so scary. I saw literally 90% of the birds fell sick, and that taught me a lot of lessons. It's from that point that I learned disease management, and I was able to recover quite a great number of the birds. There are other people whose farms, their birds have been sick, maybe from one thing or the other, and they just gave up. They just sold off the flock. For some people, they were not lucky enough, the flocks died. You see, I've had people at different difficult moments suggest to me that sell the birds off. I think that if I had sold these birds off, I wouldn't be here today sharing this video with you. So when my birds came in on day 1, we're doing okay, and I started brooding in a small kitchen in my father's compound. I did brooding there, and there was no space. I had to break the walls of the kitchen to just make sure that air enters, to make sure that aeration is okay. But still, after some point in time, I discovered that the space was so small. It was just okay for brooding, but necessarily not rearing the birds. So after the brooding season, I began thinking of what I'm going to do. So I was given this old structure in our compound, and I had to prepare it. I had to break the walls, right? I had to break the walls so that air could circulate. I had to create artificial windows. That's what I mean by breaking the walls, so that air could circulate from front to back. It was a challenge because, come on, that building was leaking. Air was still a problem. They were still tight. They fast forward to when they began laying, and cannibalism and a whole lot of things started occurring due to space and other things. And here am I today at 80 weeks in a completely different structure with this batch of birds, and see yet with my second batch of birds at the week doing just okay. And like I said, resilience, hard work, the willingness to learn, and of course help from above has brought us this far. And one of the things that I've suffered, one of the things I've experienced also are fluctuations in my production. You see, there are times that production has gone up very, very high. At a certain point it comes down very, very low. At a certain point it goes back to a stage, and all of those fluctuations, obviously when production goes down, it means I'm on losses. So I've been on profits and losses and profits and losses, and for the past 30 weeks I've been able to, with knowledge, I've been able to sustain my birds at a good production percentage. So people ask me summarily, what are those challenges that you have faced? I think that the first challenge I faced is what I mentioned earlier, the breakout of diseases. I've literally experienced over 4 to 5 different terrible diseases on the farm. From Gumboro, I've experienced coryza, I've experienced avian influenza, I've experienced cannibalism. I don't know if you call that a disease, but I lose birds in that. And with all of those things, I've practically learned how to manage birds during moments of crisis. Another key factor that has helped me with this particular batch of birds is their nutrition. You see, when I started out, I was purely on commercial feed, and I eventually learned feed composition, and I started doing my own feed, which has been also a very, very great journey altogether. But one thing that I've been able to learn is that once something is wrong with the nutrition, something eventually will be wrong with the production. Once anything goes wrong, if the feed is not mixed well, if the ingredients are not well measured in the right proportions, something eventually will go wrong with the feed. It's a matter of days, it's a matter of 2 days, and you see the effects of anything. So I've also learned to take nutrition very, very serious, to make sure that my feeds are mixed in a very, very clean environment, to make sure that the feed ingredients are properly measured in the right proportions, because nutrition is everything. As I've been able to learn, if you don't get it right with your feed composition, you can never get it right with egg collection, because feed and other things are what makes out the egg. So I've learned the power of proper nutrition, I've learned the power of balanced nutrition, I've learned the power of feeding your birds even on time, building consistency in feeding them at a particular hour of the day, and all of those things, they have a great way they go ahead to affect production. My birds, I feed these birds 3 times a day. I feed them 6:45 in the morning, I feed them at 11 a.m. and I feed them at 3 p.m. So whatever quantity of food they have to consume for the day, I share it into 3: a portion in the morning, a portion at 11 a.m. and a portion at 3 p.m. And another key lesson I've been able to learn are lessons that are related to health management practices. You see, making sure that your birds are vaccinated, making sure that your birds take the drugs that they are supposed to take. I have a specific interval with which I deworm my birds. There's also a specific interval with which I detoxify them. So I take my health management practices very, very serious. I deworm my birds. If they are sick, if a bird is sick, I actually isolate the sick bird. If I have to give dewormers, I give them right in time. If I have to do things that are related to their health generally, I take that very serious. This leads me to the next thing I want to talk about, which actually is number one reason why diseases are introduced on the farm: biosecurity. I've learned the art of taking biosecurity very, very serious. Very few people, if it's not somebody that works on the farm here or somebody that is coming in here, actually somebody that works here, of course, coming in here to feed the birds, or myself coming in here, nobody around comes in here. It's part of the biosecurity measures I've been able to learn, because in these 80 weeks I've also learned that diseases don't appear on a farm. Diseases are introduced on a farm by an agent. So if you allow people to just move in here, in and out, check on your birds, touch your birds, and congratulate you for doing it, at the end you're going to cry, because diseases are going to be introduced on that farm from anywhere. Now, based on my structure and the way you see this place, I've also been able to learn importance of lighting, learn importance of ventilation, and that has gone a long way to contribute to the way I constructed my structure. As you see, while I was moving from the old structure to this structure, comparing it to the old structure, I made sure that there is free flow of air, there is adequate lighting, natural lighting. Moisture cannot build up here. If you look at my litter, you discover that my litter is very, very dry, and all of those things are things I've been able to learn in the course of these 80 weeks. One of the last things I want to talk about is the most recent thing that happened on my farm. It's quite long, but I think that's the most recent challenge I faced with this bird. Is this funny behavior of vent pecking, cannibalism, feather pecking, and all of that. You see, it was so strange to me seeing birds eating up another bird. And should, in case you're facing that on your farm, I will tell you that one of the first things you should do is to trim the beaks of the birds first, so that there should be some kind of a slowdown with all of that if you discover that your birds are eating up each other. I've explained on the channel here that birds literally can eat up each other. If you feel that is a joke, I've experienced that. So that taught me a lot as to how to properly debeak my birds. That's why I've done a video. The last video I did was a video related to debeaking, and that's one of the things I introduced this cannibalism of a thing. So in a bit to curb that, I had to debeak the birds. I had to look at their nutrition again and added certain things there. I had to look at the environmental factors. I had to make sure that the space is increased, because all of those things are things that go ahead to cause cannibalism. So here we are at 80 weeks with 80%, and all of the things I've been sharing on this channel are just the things I'm following from our regular morning routines, daily routines, monthly routines, to just everything I've shared to you are the secrets behind our success. So if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so that you get to learn how all of this works from day one right up to day 80 and beyond. So that is how we had it on this video, and thank you for staying there. Thank you for just being there to watch and learn. And knowledge makes a difference. Never you forget that. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep learning from your mistakes, and certainly God bless you. Together with these people here at week 80, we are saying bye bye and see you on our next video.